Hi, Moraga. It's your superintendent, Julie Parks, and I'm here to give you a few updates today, just a couple weeks away from the beginning of school. So here we go. The big news today is really about registration. So I'll be spending some time going over that process with you to make sure that you know exactly what to do to get your child registered for school. Next, I'm going to dip into two new laws that recently came out. They'll really only pertain to a small number of our families, but because they're new, I want to make sure that I spend a little bit of time going over them so that families know about these new laws. And if it pertains to you, you'll know how to reach out to us and ask questions. And lastly, I'd like to celebrate and thank MEF for all of their great work last year fundraising for this year's programs and talk a little bit about where those dollars are going to go so that you know exactly what you can expect this year. So first, registration. A little bit earlier today, you may have noticed that you got a message in Parent Square directing you about how to go through the registration process. It opens up tomorrow, and there's a link in that message that you received a bit earlier today that will take you to a landing page with just 3 simple steps. The first step is to go and update all of the information on your parent portal. That shouldn't take you too long, especially for returning families, to make those updates, to make sure that we have the right emergency information, and to make sure that you're verifying some annual documents for us. After you finish that, you get to get into the fun stuff. Visit the new and improved MEF website to see all of the great programs that have been put on by that amazing foundation over the years, and to get excited about some of the things that you can expect this year. Next, don't forget to drop in on your PTA website so that you can learn more about local events at your school, volunteer opportunities, and the ever important spirit wear so that you can be spirited around town. Registration opens tomorrow, but will be open until the first day of school. Next, independent study. New legislation has opened up an option for independent study for students who may be medically compromised or live in a household with a family member who is medically compromised and may not be able to safely return to school. Again, this is an option for a very small number of families who may not be able to return for full in-person instruction. And if you're interested in this, if this speaks to you and a need that you have in your home, please see our website for a link to a form to express interest, and then we'll follow up to get you some more information. That process for applying to independent study will be pretty simple. You'll fill out that form, we'll connect with you to have a conference, and then you'll receive an offer to transfer to an independent study program. We will be partnering with districts within our county to be able to serve our students in need of independent study. So we'll be entering into a transfer agreement for the duration of the independent study to make sure that those students can get served at home and safely. And lastly, there'll be a master agreement that will just outline all of the details of what it would look like to transfer back at the end of that program, and to make sure that families know what their rights are. Again, this probably only pertains to a small number of families, but if you're interested, please see our website. You'll see a little spot there around independent study. Just click on that and you can get more information. Next, again, something that may not be important to a large number of our families, but there is a new law around retention pertaining to students who may have not met the standard in 50% or more of their coursework last year. If this is something interesting to you, please reach out by emailing your school site principal, and then we will be setting up a meeting with you to discuss all of the data around your students' performance last year and our recommendations around retention before making a final decision around what would be best for each child. Again, probably not a huge number of families in need of this information, but wanting to make sure that those who do need it get it, and that we can start move forward in serving all of our kids. So lastly, let's talk a little bit about MEF. This has been a more fun part of my last couple of weeks, getting to know this great organization and exploring that website. There is lots to explore there, so please go on there and poke around just to see all the great videos and programs that have happened in the past. It will definitely get you excited for this school year. Speaking of which, there are 4 priority areas for funding for this year's dollars. The first is around enrichment, and that will fund our libraries and our music and band classes, TK through 8 for our students, really important programming and facilities needs that MEF will be supporting and making sure that our students have access to. Next, MEF is really focusing this year on student wellness. And coming out of a pandemic year, we know our students need extra supports to feel really connected at school. And MEF is stepping right into the leadership role in that area to make sure that some of our dollars go to supporting those programs. Next, we have academic support. That includes your reading tutor aides, your teacher's aides, and your writing aides within your classes. All of those support services that make sure that no kid falls behind and we get everybody to the destination by the end of the year. Lastly, MEF has a particular focus on STEAM. This is really an area of priority for our families. This involves robust elective programs at JM, technology instructors, and some really exciting project-based learning grants that will be happening this year, where teachers will be able to seek out some extra funds to do some amazing projects in their classroom. I'm really excited about this particular area and very excited to share some of the great outcomes with you as the year gets started. Thanks for listening today. Have a great afternoon and get ready for school to